Susan turned sharply, her heart sinking as she spotted Oliver strolling toward her. "Well, fancy seeing you here, Susan Drew," Oliver sneered, his voice dripping with mockery. His gaze shifted to Ethan and the smirk deepened. "And who's this?" Ethan didn't move. His expression did not change as he watched Oliver approach. Oliver smirked as he stepped forward, his tone dripping with arrogance. "And who the hell are you? You've got some nerve standing next to her. Move aside. This young master has taken an interest in her." Susan's face flushed with anger. She stepped forward. "Stop it, Oliver, just leave." But Oliver completely ignored her, his gaze locked on Ethan. His voice rose with arrogance. "Tell you what, I'll give you 10 grand. Take the money and disappear. Don't ever show your face again." Before Susan could react, Ethan moved. In one swift motion, he grabbed Oliver by the collar. The crowd around them froze, their murmurs growing louder as Ethan pulled Oliver closer, their faces just inches apart. "You've got one chance to walk away," Ethan said, his voice low and icy. "Use it wisely." Oliver's confidence crumbled. His eyes darted nervously, and he struggled weakly against Ethan's hold. "Hey, relax, man," he stammered, his tone faltering. "I was just joking." Ethan's grip didn't loosen. His tone grew deadlier. "Get out." Oliver opened his mouth to speak, but no words came out. With a light shove, Ethan sent him staggering backward. He caught his balance, but the flush of humiliation burned across his face as he straightened up, fury simmering in his eyes. Oliver ran quite a distance before stopping to catch his breath. "This isn't over," he muttered weakly. Without waiting for a response, Olive turned and disappeared into the crowd. Ethan turned to Susan. He looked at her unimpressed. "You really need to rethink the people you let into your life," he said coldly. Susan opened her mouth to protest, but no words came out. Embarrassment and relief warred within her, leaving her momentarily speechless. Taking a deep breath to steady herself, Ethan extended a card toward her, his tone indifferent. "Here's my contact number. I have some matters to handle, so I'll be leaving now." Susan glanced at the card. It simply read Ethan, with no surname, followed by his number. Before she could process it, he turned and began to walk away. "Wait a minute," she called out. Ethan stopped, turning halfway to face her with a questioning look. "Now that we're married, shouldn't we be living together?" she asked. Ethan raised an eyebrow. "Don't you have your own place for now? My place is a bit clumsy," he replied. "Besides, the Drew mansion would be far more comfortable than mine." Susan's expression dulled as she replied, "I'm your wife, Ethan, temporary or not. Living apart would only make this arrangement look more ridiculous." Ethan's jaw tightened, his eyes narrowing slightly. Waving the marriage certificate dramatically, Susan pouted, her voice tinged with exaggerated misery. "I'm really in a tough spot here. Ever since my sister came back, my parents have been treating me like I don't exist. And now that I'm out of the Drew mansion, I have nowhere to go." Her voice grew louder, drawing curious glances from others in the recorder's office. Ethan's patience was wearing thin. What have I gotten myself into? She's so childish and annoying. He let out a frustrated sigh, his expression darkening. "Fine," he said flatly. "I live in Opal Harbor. Figure it out yourself." Ethan handed her a sleek keycard and a note with his address. He turned and walked away. Susan clutched the card, her lips curving into a smile, small but triumphant. "Sure, he's cold and mean, but he's not heartless," Susan thought, clutching the keycard as she walked toward the villa. A flicker of determination crossed her face. "I can make him fall for me." At Opal Harbor, Susan stood at the door of the villa, the keycard cold and smooth in her hand. She hesitated, her gaze drifting up to the normal, plain villa. It wasn't what she had imagined. No grand mansion, no glimmering lights, just simplicity. "This doesn't look right," she murmured to herself. She exhaled and swiped keycard. A faint beep echoed, followed by the soft click of the lock. The door creaked open. She stepped inside. The space was quiet, almost eerily. Susan's eyes swept the room, a small living area with clean lines, muted colors, and minimal furniture. A plain gray couch faced a low, unadorned table. A few framed sketches adorned the walls. "This doesn't feel like a rich man's house," she muttered. "Not at all." Curiosity tugged at her, drawing her toward the hallway. She glanced into each room as she passed. A neat guest room with a simple bed and a small dresser. A master bedroom just as unassuming. But it was the study at the end of the hall that caught her attention. Susan stepped inside, her eyes immediately drawn to the bookshelves lining the walls. The spines of countless books faced her, their titles neat and orderly. She traced her fingers along the rows. Military tactics, the politics of power, advanced technologies. She frowned, pulling a book off the shelf. Its leather cover was worn, the pages filled with dense diagrams and meticulous notes. "Why would a businessman need this?" she whispered, flipping through the pages. "Who are you really, Ethan?" she murmured, returning the book to its place. Her mind raced as questions swirled. Could Helen have been wrong? Was Ethan really Jacob's cousin? She felt torn, her thoughts spinning in all directions. Without thinking twice, she grabbed her phone and dialed Helen's number. "Susan," came Helen's bright, familiar voice. I got married," Susan said softly. There was a moment of stunned silence. "Wait, what? Married? To who?" Susan sighed, rubbing her temples. "Jacob's cousin. His name is Ethan." Helen's voice shot up an octave. "You're kidding! Jacob's cousin? How on earth did that happen?" Susan sank onto the couch, still dazed. "It all happened so fast. I'm still trying to process it." Helen let out a stunned laugh. "Wow, well, congratulations, I guess. That's huge, babe." Susan groaned. "Don't congratulate me yet. He's complicated, cold, stubborn. Sure, he looks like a walking magazine cover, but his personality?" She made a face, even though Helen couldn't see it. "Let's just say, charming isn't in his vocabulary." Helen chuckled. "Sounds like every rich guy I've ever met. All power, zero patience." Susan cracked a faint smile. "That's exactly him." There was a pause before Helen's voice turned more serious. "But, Susan, are you sure about this? It all sounds so sudden." Susan's tone dropped. "I don't even know. Everything's a blur. Before I knew it, bam, married. What if I made a huge mistake?" Helen didn't hesitate. "You didn't. You just landed a high-profile husband. From now on, you play it smart. Use that pretty head and body of yours." At the top floor of Omni Corporation, inside the CEO's office, Ethan sat behind his expansive desk, meticulously reviewing the latest technical documents on electronic chip development. Sheets of data lay neatly arranged before him, his sharp eyes scanning every line with focus. A soft chime broke the silence, pulling him from his concentration. Without looking up, he said calmly, "Come in." Felix Knight entered, his usual composed demeanor intact, a slim folder tucked under one arm. He walked forward and stopped at a respectful distance from the desk. "Young master," Felix said, "there's something you'll want to see." "This is the report on Susan Drew," Felix said, his tone steady. Ethan glanced up briefly, his sharp eyes catching the folder before reaching for it. "Leave it here," he instructed.
To listen to the full audio series, install the Pocket FM app now.